at what is Eastbourne's Sovereign Habour. 30 years ago, just 30 years ago, in about 1990, this was miles of shingle bank. In fact, it was a bank which was thrown up during a storm in the Middle Ages, which caused a load of water meadows to be expanding across, and which still stand today. This shingle bank is quite delicate. It came in the storm, it could go in the storm. But the harbour itself is a construction of a massive undertaking by the Duke of Devonshire, and effectively took about 20 years to create. I watched it as they scooped out the shingle and created this harbour basin, which you see now. There are several harbour basins. This is just one part of the marina. And if you look down here, this is what it would have looked like prior to it being built. People used to walk their dogs, and there was much amount of rare flora and fauna, rare birds. Unfortunately, when such an undertaking takes place and the humans move in, nature moves out, and it's a very delicate balance between the two, knowing whether nature itself has a right or whether we have a right to take the inhabitants of the habitation of the nature. But that's not a debate for this, it's a debate now because it's finished with. We have Eastbourne Marina. And I'm going to take you now through the marina and show you all the amazing things which have happened in such a short time. 30 years. 30 years from shingle bank to this amazing undertaking. This piece is called the waterfront. And the waterfront is an amazing place if you want to come for a meal. It's all restaurants, and it's very, very popular, as you can see. Well attracted a large crowd. I expect the boat's out at the moment, but there is a boat that takes you on trips around the harbour. You need a lot of money if you're going to stay here, because each of these boats has to pay a tidy sum of money to park here permanently or impermanently, whichever they like. But they certainly have a most amazing place to be, because now it's completely landlocked with locks which they have built. At one time the fishermen used to pull up their boats out on the beach. But as I turn the corner I can smell fish, and the reason for that is this has become what is called the fisherman's lock. So I'm walking across this little gate here, and I'll show you the fishing boats seem to be mostly out at the moment, but this is where all the fishing vessels have gone to. Or say all, most of them. There are still a few who still retain their original position near to the old lifeboat station, which is at the top of Flinters Park. These things here, you can see the nets on the other side, and you can see the fishing vessels which go out fishing as far as Portlandville in one direction, and I'm told even into the North Sea. They're quite strong, sturdy boats which can take a lot of punishment in a storm. So there we have Eastbourne's fishing fleet. Lots and lots of high-rise flats, enormous. I mean, this is a place which is totally different to Eastbourne in so many ways. I'm afraid I find it difficult to read the actual pieces that come on the bottom of the screen, so please forgive me if I don't answer questions you give. Maybe I should put glasses on. As I said at the beginning, all this has been built in just 30 years, which is amazing. And I often think that if you can build a whole, well, it's pretty well a little town in its own right, then when places get terribly damaged by war, earthquake, or whatever happens to them, well, not very nice, but they can be rebuilt, and with the technology of today, rebuilt quite quickly, solidly, and often to advantage, because here you can see that these places are particularly interesting to live in, particularly interesting to walk by, and it's also a place where people can feel relaxed, almost like a holiday. Maybe a holiday it is, yes. The Eastbourne lifeboat has been removed from its original housing in Dr. Finch's Park, and last I saw of it, it was parked around here, but it's not going to show itself for me today, so unfortunately I can't show you the Eastbourne lifeboat, which is sad. Probably out because of the weekend. There's a lot of interesting events going on, and it's probably out on one of its events. Maybe sometime in the future I'll ask the lifeboat people if I can go for a little ride on it, and I'll take the scoping camera and you can join me. These metal bridges are, of course, ones that open up. They split in the middle and allow these vessels to come through, and when that happens, quite large cabins cruisers can enter this particular part of the marina, and indeed any other part of the marina that they may wish to go to. Tells you to clear and stop when the gates are open, but I don't think I want to go for a swim, so I will observe their notice if it came to it.
No, if I'm honest with you, that's
The sun's gone in, so I hope the pictures aren't going to be too dark.
Don't much convince
Not that it's not a nice day, it's just that we have a few clouds that are obscuring the sun. Seems to be plenty of spaces here for more vessels to be able to buy an anchorage. There's a lot of vessels here already with their registered anchorage. How nice to own one of these ships, boats, whatever you like to call them, and travel the oceans of the sea free, and you point the vessel when you want to go to, and you can go to any continent in the world. And people can do it. People can afford to do it. So we've got a touch of the Mediterranean here, in the sense that what is advantages to the many vessels in the Mediterranean is an advantage to those people who want to come down to the English Channel. And boy, are these vessels beautiful. But they also got a beautiful price tag to them. I think, you know, you can be spending anything up to £1 million for one of these vessels, so they are not everybody's cup of tea. In fact, I think it's very limiting how many people could afford that sort of price for what is effectively a second home. Now we're coming to what is the main water gates, which allow the vessels to come in from this channel, and there are a few vessels there waiting to come through. The water's just filling up, and they are sitting there while the gates will eventually open, allowing these beautiful yachts the opportunity to come through. 5 miles an hour, if that's in car terms, or it may be even slower, I do not know, but that's what the sign says over here. 5 max. 5 knots max. So here we have, and there it is, well, there it is, parked there. I was telling you about the Eastbourne lifeboat, and there she is, anchored in the outer basin. This is the entrance to the sea, and there you have the Royal Naval lifeboat, always ready to go to somebody's rescue. And over there, if you can just see it in the distance, is one of the last remaining Martello towers in this area, built in 1803 to stop the Napoleonic invasion, which never came, gradually decaying away, sadly. One relic of Eastbourne's history, which did withstand